Okay, we're live. Let's see who's here today. Good morning, everybody. It's a little early, but thank you for coming. Good, we've got a few students coming in. If you're here, say hello, type a message. Let me know how you're doing. And hi, good morning. How's everyone doing today? I can hear you. Perfect. Thank you. So how are you? How's everything? Have you done anything interesting recently? Are you having a good weekend? Good morning. We have many regular students here. That's great. Students who come every week, I think, or almost every week. Excellent. Good morning. I want to sleep again. Me too. It's quite early, isn't it? It's great that you're here. Okay. All right. Well, why don't we get started? Alice, hi. I remember speaking with you. Joe says, my husband is waiting for the result of COVID. Wow, I am so sorry that your family has to go through that. Let's hope for some positive results. Well, positive meaning no COVID, right? Testing negative on the COVID test. That's kind of a funny thing about English, right? Positive result could mean a good thing or a bad thing. All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Okay. All right. We've got about 5 students. Why don't we begin? So, who knows what we will be talking about today? What's our topic? Who checked out the preview? Who knows what's coming today? Yes, telephone. Excellent. So my question for you, and yes, calling, telephone, making phone calls in English, how to do it naturally, and how to get over anxiety or shyness when you're shy about making a phone call to an English native speaker. So my question for you is, do you have any experience speaking English on the telephone? English is your second, perhaps your third language. So have you ever spoken English on the phone? Have you ever used your second language or third language on the telephone? So tell me about that. When did you ever use English on the phone? Perhaps you work in a business where you have English clients. Maybe sometimes you need to call, I don't know, America, or call an office in England. Maybe you were abroad and you were feeling so hungry, you ordered a pizza and you had to speak English on the phone to place a delivery. Joe says, I have, and I was so embarrassed. Oh no. Maybe you can tell us a bit more. Okay, the message just came through. I received a call from our business partner. Perfect English. Yes, conducting business on the telephone in your second language could be a little bit scary because you cannot see the person's face when you're speaking with them. Also, I think it's sometimes easier to use email when you're doing business in your second language, because at least with email, you have time to think. You can read what they had written. You can translate it. You can think deeply about your answer, your response. You can even have a friend proofread it for you. But on the telephone, you just have to react. You have to speak so quickly. Very good. So who else has experience speaking English on the phone? N says, in a previous job with U.S. clients. Again, perfect English. Great. Kimberly says, with my friend who is also learning English. Lovely answer. Hyunju says, I've had a phone interview in English. Oh my gosh, that could be very, very stressful because interviews are already very stressful occasions. But if it's on the telephone, at least for me, that would be a frightening thing. I remember once I had also a telephone interview in my second language, in French, when I was living in Canada. And it was so scary. Let's see. Joe says about their experience. I didn't understand what he said exactly. Yes, that can happen. Again, listening on the phone is so hard. You cannot read the person's lips. You cannot guess what they're saying. You can't read their face. You can't really guess their emotions as clearly as you can with a face-to-face conversation. Perfect answers, everybody. Okay, so anybody else, for the students who just arrived, have you ever made a phone call in English? Maybe you had to call a hotel to make a reservation for a room when you were traveling abroad. Other instances, let's think. Maybe you had to call your English teacher, perhaps to arrange a lesson, reschedule, or to ask a question. Maybe you've also participated in CUF's phone English classes. So those are specifically designed to help you learn English. So you can also learn English over the phone. Okay, anyone else? I think not. We'll move on. So our first thing today is we're going to walk through a typical phone call. Walk through like this. We're going to walk through it, meaning we're going to explore it step by step. So actually, I'll need your help. I'm going to ask you some questions to begin. So we're going to walk through a phone call from the very, very beginning. So I'd love your answers first. What can you say to begin a phone call? So how can you start a phone call? Let's imagine you're calling somebody. What can you say? How does it begin? In Korean, it's always 여보세요, right? But in English, we perhaps have some different choices, especially if you're the one picking up the phone. Actually, let me think for a moment. It could go either way. The person making the phone call or the person receiving the phone call can also use many various greetings. So, what can you say to begin a phone call? Is it yo, sup? Maybe. But let's talk about a more conventional, a more traditional phone call. Hello. Okay, very good. Yes, just hello. Very good. Hello is probably the most common one. Sure. Hello, how are you? Very good, very good. Anything else? Let's imagine you're at work and you're picking up the phone. You might use a different greeting, right? Like, hello, how may I help you? Good morning, this is blah, blah, blah office, right? Hello, this is Dr. Kim's clinic. How may I help you today? You might have a very long sentence. So it depends on the situation. But of course, hello is our go-to, our normal response. You can't get in trouble for using hello. Next is, how do you identify yourself? Identify yourself means saying who you are. How do you say who you are? Let's see some sample sentences. Hyunju, very good. Hello, this is Hyunju Kim. Is Professor Nikiforak available? Wow, that is absolutely perfect. Yes. And thank you so much for spelling my name correctly. My surname, my last name, Nikiforak, is always so tricky for other people to spell. Thank you so much. Very good, very good. Anyone else? Does anyone have any other opening sentences for when you begin a phone call? Perfect, Minji. Yes, I love that one. That one is very short, to the point, and always a good choice, right? Hello, Cassandra speaking. Hello, Professor Nikiforek speaking, etc. Very good, very good. Excellent. Or even just, hello, this is, let's say, Mr. Kim speaking. Hello, this is Mr. Kim speaking. Very good. This is or just speaking are fine. All right. Okay, we'll move on. We'll keep walking through. So if you do not know who the person is who is calling you, how can you find out who they are? So my question is, if you don't know who they are, if you do not know who they are, if you do not recognize who is calling you, what can you say? What questions can you ask? Sometimes you could receive a phone call from a voice you do not know. Can you say just, who's this? You could. Who's this? That's totally fine. There are other ways, though. Who's this might sound a little bit like you're too confused, or like it's not very professional of you. As you know, in English, the longer sentences are, the longer the sentence goes, usually the more polite it is, the more formal it is, right? So you get a phone call, ding, hello, you don't know who's speaking. Who's this? That could sound a little rude, especially if you use the wrong intonation, if you use the wrong or kind of a rude way of speaking. JY, perfect. Yes, I love that. It's longer, it's softer. Yes, so it makes it more polite. So you don't know who's calling? Who's calling? Who's calling, please? Like that is fine, right? Oh, who's calling, please? Good job. Anybody else? Who's calling, please is perfect. You could say a really long one. With whom am I speaking? That one is very formal. It uses whom. With whom am I speaking? Or you could say, who am I speaking with today? Or excuse me, who's this? Where are you calling from? If you're totally convinced that this is a stranger making a mistake, you could say something like, I'm sorry, I think you have the wrong number. Or ask them, are you sure you have the right number? Something like this. Good job. Okay, the next question is, another polite way we can talk about this problem. So if you cannot hear the other person well, what can you say to them? So maybe they call you and there's a lot of noise coming from their end of the phone call, coming from them. Perhaps they're riding the subway, perhaps they're on the bus, maybe there's something wrong with their telephone, there's a poor connection. So if you just can't hear the person, what can you tell them? Or maybe their voice is too soft, right? Too soft. You might need to tell them to do something. Perfect, Hyunju. Yes, again, lovely answer. Could you please speak louder? Or even, could you speak louder, please? All of those are perfect. Good. Yes, Alice, I can't hear you. I cannot hear you very well. Again, when we kind of make our sentences longer, it usually sounds more polite. So I can't hear you is perfect. You could even go, I can't hear you very well. You could use a qualifier, I can't hear you that well. I can't hear you very well. Those little extra words just make your sentence longer and add more of your personality and perhaps more formality. I can't hear you well. Can you speak up? Beautiful. Just like that. That's perfect. Good, good. You could say, oh, I'm sorry. Can you repeat that, please? Could you repeat what you just said? Oh, there are so many. Sorry, I couldn't hear you very well. Sorry, I didn't catch that. We use catch that to mean get information or hear somebody's message. So you could say, I'm sorry, I didn't quite catch that. I didn't catch that very well. Could you say that again, please? All of those are totally fine. And many others too. Anybody else? Do you have any thoughts? Okay, moving on. We're almost through with our walkthrough. I'm repeating myself. We're almost over with our walkthrough. Okay, so the next one is, how can you ask to speak to someone? So again, you call perhaps somebody other than the person that you want to speak with picks up the phone, answers the phone. So maybe you're calling for your friend. However, your friend's husband picks up the phone and you hear your friend's husband's voice. You only want to speak with your friend. What can you say? Or perhaps you're calling a business, you're calling an institution, and you want to speak with somebody who works there. Perfect, Minji. Yes. Could you put me through? Yes. Can I talk to somebody's name? Right. So can I talk to blah, blah, blah? Or even could I talk to blah, blah, blah? Could I speak with Mr. Kim? Or could you put me through to Mr. Kim? Could I please speak to Mr. Kim? So many ways are fine. I'd like to speak with Mr. Kim, please. That's okay too. Of course, if you're calling your friend and your friend's husband answers, in that case, you can probably be a little less formal, right? So you would just say, oh, is my friend there? Is she there? Where is she? Like that. That's okay too. Good job. And this is one of my favorite things to talk about, ending a phone call, because I have some personal anecdotes, some short stories to share about ending a phone call. I think that a lot of English speakers in Korea could be a little bit confused by telephone culture in Korea. Because at least speaking for myself and from what other foreigners, my foreigner friends have told me, a lot of us have been a little bit surprised by the way that some Koreans finish their phone call. I don't know why. I think it seems like the phone call can end so suddenly, so quickly. That's just from my personal perspective. So, of course, I don't speak Korean that well. So I'm not at all judging how Koreans make telephone calls. I just found it a little bit funny because, at least for me, I just kind of would observe people going kind of like, good, like good na, or like kind of like making, like a sound of recognition, like So hearing some of my Korean friends on the phone it has been just a really interesting experience for me, because in English, we always have to say like goodbye or bye. Like we just need that word. And I think that could be some type of small like linguistic difference or cultural difference between the Korean language and English. Okay, bye. Yes, and that's perfect. So like, okay, bye. Let me call you again later. Bye. Those are all perfect. So I think the point that I'm trying to make is that in most cases, and especially in very formal situations, so job interview, calling an office, even placing in like a delivery, an order for delivery, ordering some food to your house, pretty much in any situation, we always say bye or goodbye. So always remember that. So let me call you again later. Bye. Perfect. All right, I have to go now. Bye. Excellent. Yes. We usually just kind of do something or say something to signal the end of the conversation. So the end of the conversation is coming soon. So, I think I have to go now. Well, thanks for talking. We usually start it with well. Well, time to go, like this. Well, it was nice talking with you today. Well, it was good catching up with you. Well, it was nice speaking with you. And, right, goodbye. Thank you. Thanks for your time. Bye-bye. Like that. Take care of yourself. Bye. Perfect, Alice. Yes. I like that. Another thing that we say, I'll type it here. When we're about to end the phone call, but we don't want to be the first person to admit that we need to end the call. For example, I'm speaking with my friend or my coworker, and I want to end the call. I need to go somewhere, but I don't want to be the first person to say, I should go now. A kind of thing that we like to do is I say to you, I should let you go now, meaning I've taken enough of your time. So it's like polite, and it's a great way to get out of the phone call. So it makes you seem like you're caring a lot about the other person, right? So you care about their time. I should let you go. It's been a long time. We've been on the phone for so long. I bet you have something to do. Or, I should let you go. It's almost 5 o'clock. I'm sure you're getting hungry. It was great talking. Bye-bye. Like that. So that's like a quick tip you can use, that I should let you go. As well, you could even say, well, I should get going. I should go now. That's okay too. But if you want to seem like you care more for the other person, or you do actually care more for the other person's schedule, I should let you go. Like that. Okay. So we can end the call. Goodbye. Bye. Take care. Have a nice day. I'll call you back later. And many, many others. We had some great sentences in the chat. Okay, very good. Are there any questions? Okay, so we're going to now move on. I'm going to bring my trusty teaching board. Okay, so we're going to look now at 5 phrasal verbs. These phrasal verbs are used so often in a telephone call. So we're going to check out these 5, and I would love if you could make some sentences. I'll describe first this one. So we have call back. Call back means to return a phone call. I'll put the explanation here. Return a phone call. For example, I will call you back in an hour. I will call you back later. So I'm returning the call. If you could make a sentence, that would be great. So let's try to use call back, return the call in a sentence. I will call you back later. I will call you back once I have finished writing the report. Imagine you're taking a vacation and you say to your friend, okay, I'll call you back when I have arrived at my destination, right? I'll call you back from Chicago. I'll call you back later. How about you? Could you make a sentence with call back? I'll call you back after I finish dinner. Perfect N. Yes. I will call you back after my class. Excellent, excellent. So calling you back, returning the call, or perhaps continuing a call that was stopped, that was interrupted. For example, the battery on my phone is going to die, so I'll call you back later. I'll call you back after I charge my phone. Good job, Lee. Yes, John called me back after his work. Perfect sentence. Good, good. Minji says, I will call you back when I am available. Lovely, beautiful English. Okay, so my question now for you. Do you always call people back when you have missed somebody's call? Do you ever forget to call people back? So are you good at calling people back? I have some friends who are very, very busy, and they might forget to call back. I have other friends who never miss a phone call if they can help it. And if they do miss your call, as soon as they see that they've missed your call, they will call me right back. So everybody is different. Not all the time. I think that's a reasonable answer. Good job. Hyunju has a perfect sentence. Yes, I'll call you back after this meeting. Obviously, the you, when you are speaking quickly and speaking informally and casually, for example, with your friend or with your sister, the you might sound like ya, as you probably know. So if I were speaking with my sister, I'd say, I'll call you back. I'll call you back later. I'll call ya back. But if I'm speaking with my boss, I'll call you back later. You back. Ya back. So you can notice that we will change the way we speak based on who we are speaking to. Okay, so are you good at calling people back? N says, no. If somebody needs to talk to me, they call again. So I just ignore it. I understand. Yes, yes. That's a way of treating your mobile phone sort of like your, how can I call it? Oh, I'm losing my English right now. Before the mobile phone, we just had a standard telephone. So just, the telephone that you pick up. And most people, I remember when I was young, calling wasn't such a big deal. Like if you missed a phone call, it's fine, right? You knew that person would just call you back later, or they would leave you an answer on your answering machine. They would leave you like a voicemail, right? But today, it's so hard to live without our phones, our cell phones. So I feel like when I was younger, if I missed a call, who cares? It wasn't a big deal. But now if I miss a phone call, I'll always see this notification, this message reminding me again and again that I missed somebody's call. So with technology, our relationship to making calls and returning calls has changed. I often send messages instead of calling me back, Lee. Good answer. Perfect English. And me too. I'm a big fan of sending a message. I'm so sorry that I missed your call. I will call you later. I'll call you when I'm available. Minji says, I usually leave a message instead of calling back. Very good. That's also a great way to do it. I almost always call back to someone. Actually, we can just say I almost always call back. Oh, yes. Okay, I see your sentence now. I was misreading it. I almost always call back to someone whose call I missed. Perfect English. Perfect English. Good job. Okay, seems like everybody is very polite. We have excellent phone call etiquette. Now we're going to move on to the next one. And actually, a student already used this sentence, this phrasal verb, I should say. So we won't spend too much time on it, but it's important to know, put through. So putting through simply means to connect a call. So for example, I would say to somebody calling my office, I'll put you through to whatever person or whatever department they want to speak with. So sample sentences could be, the operator, now operator, the phone operator, that's a very ancient job, I think, right? But you could say the operator will put you through. Or the assistant, the secretary will put you through. You can use put through to talk about the action being done to you. So I was put through to Sally and I had to wait 30 minutes on hold. I was put through to the accounting department. I was put through to the sales department, but they couldn't help me. I asked to be put through to the manager when I had a problem. So we use put through to get connected to someone else. Let's see a sample sentence. Good job. Yes, Lee. Can I put you through to customer service? Very good. So for this one, it's a small nuance, but a lot of native speakers cut off the in that case. So we would just say, can I put you through to customer service? Like that. I was put through to customer service. Very good. Anybody else with a sample sentence? Thanks. You're welcome. It's such a small thing, so really don't worry about it. I can't handle your problem, so I'll put you through to my boss. Perfect. Very good. Yes. Okay, we're going to use through again. Now we have another one. Get through. Get through is a little similar, but it's more focused on actually reaching somebody, actually being able to have your conversation. So getting through is when we reach somebody by phone, and we often use it in a negative sense, meaning we couldn't reach the person, we couldn't get through. Maybe the line was busy meaning the person is on another call, they cannot take your call. We call that I couldn't get through, right? I couldn't get through to her. Whenever I call the government, I cannot get through in the mornings, so I call in the afternoons. Something like that. Let me see. Okay, we have more sentences coming in. The last one, put through. Let me put you through to, yes, let me put you through to the staff in charge. Hyunju, perfect sentence. Just remember the to. Good. Okay, so get through. Let's try to make some sentences with get through. So, I couldn't get through to you last night. Where were you? Did you have your phone turned off? We could say other things like, I couldn't get through to my boyfriend. So it means my boyfriend didn't pick up my call. Oh no, what's wrong? I really wanted to order some Chinese food, but I couldn't get through. You could say a longer sentence. I couldn't get through to them. That's okay too. But if we just say I couldn't get through, everybody knows you couldn't reach that person by phone, not by email, by phone. So I couldn't get through. I tried to call the Chinese place last night, but I couldn't get through. I guess they were closed. So let's see what you have to say. Oh yeah, good job, Inji. It was really difficult to get through to customer service, so I called almost 100 times. Perfect sentence, and I can relate. I feel like it is so difficult to get through, to connect with large organizations when you need help. I don't have that much experience about making those types of phone calls in Korea, but I can say that in my country, in Canada, it's so hard sometimes. I feel like I am waiting on hold for hours. Okay, Lee says you won't get through to her at night. Yes, exactly. Maybe she turns off her phone after 9 p.m. So then you cannot get through to her until the morning. And says, I can't get through to the AS Center. They always ignore customers. Good job. Yes, yes. And AS, I had to learn what AS means because I don't think it's that popular as an acronym at least in Canada. So AS is like after service, I think, right? Like after care. So similar to customer service, but I know that there are a lot of AS centers for many different products in Korea. So I had to learn what is AS. Lee says Canada. Yes, I love my country, but Canada is notorious for being a kind of a slow place, a place where things happen just very slowly. The people move slowly when you're waiting in a line. Trying to buy something, you're in line at the checkout in a store. Everything seems so slow. In a restaurant, especially in restaurants, I've noticed that in Korea, it's amazing how quickly I can order food, eat my food, pay for my food, and leave. But in Canada, it's just a different culture, so it's very slow. You need to wait for somebody just to bring you a glass of water. You usually pay for the water. You have to wait to tip somebody. Yeah, it's a slow place. Lee says, I've been in Toronto. Then maybe you can understand what I'm speaking of. After service center about mobile phones. Got it. Perfect. Good. Okay, Hyunju says, I couldn't get through for a while. Perfect. Have you set vibration mode on your phone because of the mass? Beautiful, beautiful sentence. I think mass is referring to, the Catholic services, perhaps, the religious ceremonies. So, of course, when you go to mass, when you go to church, you should definitely turn off your phone or set it to vibrate. Just out of respect. Good job. Lee says everywhere is slow. Yes. Okay, great. We're almost done. We have hold on coming up next. So hold on, this one simply means to wait. So we usually say to somebody, hold on over the phone, also in daily life conversation. And it's just meaning wait. Please wait. I'll put our sample sentence here. So I would tell somebody, please wait a moment, or just hold on a moment. Hold on, please, while I connect your call, or while I put you through. Hold on a moment while I look up the information that you requested. Look up means to search, right? Search and find. So hold on a minute. I'll look up that info. I'll look up that information for you right away. So hold on, please. Hold on a second. It's my turn. Yes, perfectly. Exactly. You could say, hold on a second. Hold on a minute. Hold on a moment. We use it in a lot of different ways. Hold on, please. Okay, we have, hold on a second. Hi, Sally. Okay, yeah. Let me catch up on the messages. Hold on, he's coming. Yeah, exactly. Perfect. Well done. So this is my question for you. Do you dislike when that happens? So we can flip the expression. So on hold can be the opposite of hold on. So hold on, I'll type it here. Hold on, telling someone to wait. It's the imperative form, right? We're giving a direction, so hold on, right? But on hold equals is the state of waiting. So we can flip it around, and being on hold means you are waiting. So we can remember that it can go both ways. So I would say, I was on hold for an hour when I was trying to speak with the AS, is it? Yes, after service center. I was on hold for a long time. So we can do like that. Hyunju says, hold on, please. My boss is speaking to another customer. Perfect sentence. So I have a question for everybody here. Do you hate being put on hold? Do you dislike when you have to wait when you're trying to reach somebody by phone? How long have you waited on hold? So do you have some story, some experience about having to be on hold, having to wait for a really long time? Somebody put you on hold for a long time. Rose is here. Hello, Rose. Good morning. Okay, so the question is, yes, the answer definitely. The question is, do you dislike being put on hold, being told to hold on, being told to wait? And definitely, it is never a fun experience. The worst is when you are put on hold for a long time. So you're just waiting and waiting. And then the person at the other end hangs up or they make a mistake. So after all that time waiting on hold, your call is ended and it was all for nothing. So you have to call back again and wait even longer. Kimberly says, yes, it gives me anxiety. I can understand. It gives me anxiety too, especially when people have some kind of music playing, like we call it hold music. When you're on hold, you might be hearing the company's music, and it's usually something very repetitive, something kind of annoying, not that fun. Very good. Okay. Lee says, that makes me go nuts. Good sentence. Go nuts is like, kind of like go crazy. Makes me go nuts means it bothers me a lot. I could lose my mind. Good expression. Okay, and our last one. right, hangs up. Thank you. Thanks for laughing at my joke. Okay, our last one is pass on. So honestly, this phrasal verb pass on gets used in a lot of ways. Sometimes people use it to mean pass away, meaning for somebody to die. But that's not the meaning here. So nobody would misunderstand you, because when we're talking about phone calls and delivering messages, we're not talking about death and dying. So pass on could mean pass away. For example, you could say my grandfather passed on 3 years ago, as an example, but it's not the meaning here. Pass on means just simply to deliver a message. So I'll type that definition here. To pass on means I will relay, I will deliver, I will tell that message to somebody. So we would say, oh, I'll pass on your message to Mr. Kim. So for example, you're calling Mr. Kim. Mr. Kim is unavailable. He's not there at the moment. So you leave a message The person taking the message, so remember we leave a message, the other person takes it. The person taking the message will say, thanks for the message. I'll pass on your message to Mr. Kim later. I'll pass on your message when he arrives, when he comes back to the office. So pass on is like to deliver, tell. So I would love if you could make a sentence with pass on. I will pass on your message when he or she arrives. Let's see what you can make to pass on a message. And, oh, Minji, talking about the last phrasal verb. When I do online shopping during Black Friday, I should be on hold for 10 minutes. Perfect sentence. And Black Friday, isn't Black Friday soon? I'm not sure about other countries, but I think we were having Black Friday in Canada maybe last week. Okay, and Rose used the sentence, the phrasal verb perfectly because it's in another situation. It's correct. Rose is not talking about a message. She's talking about just delivering and giving. So she says, my daughter passed clothes on to me. So in the past, so before, in one instance, she passed ed. My daughter passed clothes on to me. If your daughter does that as a habit, as a routine, so she often gives you clothes that she doesn't need, you could say, my daughter passes clothes on to me. Or my daughter passes on clothes to me. Both are okay. That was a little complicated. But again, perfect sentence already, Rose. Oh, and thank you, Rose. You gave me the exact dates. Awesome. Thank you. Thank you. And Lee says, yes, Boxing Day. It's like Boxing Day. When I was young, in my country in Canada, we only had Boxing Day for sales. But I think in recent years, we've been having Black Friday, and I don't even know the origins. I don't know how that started. I want to say that it perhaps started in America as a trend and then it spread, but I am not sure. So if anybody knows a lot about Black Friday, how it started, that would be great. I'd love to know about it. N says, I will not pass your message on to my boss. He isn't in the office. Good job. Excellent sentence. Okay, we're almost running out of time. Oh, I'll give you a bonus one. I think we all know this phrasal verb, but just in case, I want to remind everybody about hanging up. So I typed hang up in the chat. I didn't write it on my board, but it just came to me. I just thought of it because it's important. So you need to also know hang up, right? Hang up means to end a call. And it's kind of funny because people from my generation used to use a regular phone, like a phone that was shaped like this, shaped like a banana. So we had to pick it up. We had to hang it up. But now with smartphones, we still say hang up, but many people are starting to say end, right? End the call. So it's because of the change in technology, but still most native speakers, they press the end button, but they say hang up. So it's to physically end a phone call. And we can use it in the sense of, well, if you make me angry, I'll hang up on you. I'll end the call on you. Or my friend, by mistake, my friend accidentally hung up on me. So we don't say hanged up. We don't say she hanged up on me. Like, it's better if we say hung up. Yeah, she hung up on me. Like that. Or when an angry customer calls me, I could say, oh, I always hang up on angry customers. I don't like to speak with angry people, so I just hang up on them. Lee says, he always hangs up quickly. Perfect sentence. Good job. And Lee, yes, you were explaining about the Black Friday too. You said it's very commercial. It started perhaps with a commercial. I'll have to research it later. Minji said, I will pass on your gift to my mom. Brilliant, brilliant sentence. Perfectly used. Okay, anyone else for hang up? I can't hear you well, so I will hang up first and then call you back. Perfect sentence again. Minji, yes, yes. I love that. I say that often because I usually call my family in Canada and the connection sometimes is poor. So I say that. I'll say, oh, the connection isn't so good right now. I'll hang up and call you back later. Good job. Okay, anyone else? I didn't want to hang up in the office. If I hang up my call, I have to go to work again, or I have to work again. I get it. I get it. So when you're taking a business call in the office, you don't want to hang it up because you know as soon as you hang it up, more work will come in. I don't want to hang up in the office. If I hang up my call, I have to work again. And perfect. Okay, so we will actually have a discussion now because time's running out. We'll have a quick chat and we'll do a quiz, and then the next professor will have their class. The next professor will be Professor Nolan. So our discussion question is, can you remember your first mobile phone? Mobile phone meaning your cell phone, cellular phone, like this, or perhaps your first smartphone. So I would love to hear about your first mobile phone, your first cell phone. What was it? When did you get it? Was it special to you? Did it really change your life the first time that you used a cell phone? Maybe for the younger people in here, you have always grown up with mobile technologies, with mobile phones. But for some of us, we didn't have a mobile phone from our early childhood. I remember I had my first mobile phone. I think I was in grade 9. So that was my first year of high school in Canada. I was 13 international age. So I was 13 and I had my first cellular phone, and I have so many memories about that phone because it was huge. It had an antenna. Even though the technology was old, from my perspective right now, at the time, it was incredible and it had games and I was so impressed by it. Of course, things have changed. How about you? Do you remember your first mobile phone and what do you have to say about it? Okay, Rose had a sample sentence. I called up and the reporter hung up on me. Yes, very good, very good. Okay, so does anyone want to share an old story about their first mobile phone? I think mine could have been a Nokia, a very old Nokia, like I said, with an antenna. And it was quite large. It couldn't fit well in my purse. Lee says, my first mobile phone was a black Motorola at the age of 16 in Toronto. I was very proud, not pride. Yeah, that could be a typo. I was very proud of having it. Excellent sentence. Minji says, oh, it's a long time ago. I can't remember what model exactly it is, but I remember I was really happy to have my first phone. Perfect sentence. Yes, yes, good job. Lots of memories. Alohi said, I had my first mobile phone when I entered university, so 18 years old, and it was a Nokia brick. I think that's a joke here. So brick meaning, something you use in construction, a brick, a rectangle-shaped rock. Alohi, yes, I agree. My Nokia was also a big black brick. It was so heavy. Lee says, my second phone was Nokia. Rose said, I bought a mobile phone with the money I earned from working part-time in college. I was really happy. Perfect. What a lovely story. It's even better when you earn these big purchases yourself. And said, 20 years ago, I had a cell phone. It looked like a brick from Motorola. Excellent, excellent. Okay, we're really running out of time. So I'm going to ask you just one question, and then Professor Nolan will begin his class. So thanks a lot, everyone. We did another nice class together. Our one quiz question today is this. Quiz question is, what word or expression or phrasal verb means to physically end a phone call? That one's pretty easy. We just talked about it. Yes, and hang up. So in a sense, I'm hanging up on you right now, meaning I need to end our lesson. I'll finish up and take a quick break and enjoy Professor Nolan's class. Thanks so much for joining me here this morning. It was so early. I was really pleased to see many of you here. And next week, please join me at noon at 12 p.m. It's going to be our final class, and I'll be talking about restaurant English. Okay, everybody, enjoy your weekend and enjoy the next class. Bye-bye.